Welcome into this beautiful poker room. Grab yourself a drink and perch yourself up on the rail as we talk some wingman poker. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time for another installment of Wingman Poker Presents On the Rail. I am your host, Michael Furley, and I would like to thank you all so very much for joining me on the felt today. All right, Railbirds, in this show, we will be picking up the action from where we left off of tournament number 2 of the 2025 Wingman Poker League season. So pour your favorite drink, grab a snack, nestle in, and join me on the rail. Hey, before we get into part number 2 for tournament number 2, there are a couple of things that, if you would allow me, I would like to mention right here. In this tourney, I did try to record my hands using a whole card camera, but unfortunately, that camera malfunctioned, so I did not get any of the footage. I may try this again to give you a different perspective on some of those hands, more notably the hands that don't make it to the end, hands where I may fold due to a nice raise, hands that I may win based on a raise that I make. So I'm just giving more information out there to my competitors. This is against me, but I want to give you, the audience out there, some different perspectives and more ways to follow along Wingman Poker and see how some of our players may play. Also, later this week, I will be receiving a new chip set, so I figured I would do a combination of an unboxing and or a poker chip review, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Also, a quick reminder in terms of the setup for this tournament and all our tournaments, this is a short stack semi-turbo tourney where we start off with $1,500 in chips, and the blind levels do move along in 20 minutes increments. In this tournament, we did have one rebuy from Corey J, aka Don Quixote. So after all the rebuys, the chip color up, we were now up to $15,350 in chips on the table. So we will now be picking up the action coming back from break, where we have 8 players remaining and the rebuy window is closed. All right, let's see the seat assignments as we come back from break. Starting off in seat 1, we have Gerhard W., the Austrian assassin, and our chip leader at 4,300 in chips. In seat 2, we have Corey J, a.k.a. Don Quixote, at 1,250 in chips. In seat 3, we have Amazing Spidey at 3,550 in chips. Seat 4, we have Mr. 300, Scott H. He's sitting at 1,400 in chips. In seat 5, we have the Scorpion Queen at 900 in chips. And just below that, in our short stack, we have Jurassic Jordan holding on to 850 in chips. In seat 7, we have the Mother of Dragons at 1,900 in chips. And our last player on the table in terms of seating position, Chris M. In seat 8, the Scorpion King has 1,200 in chips. All right, guys, let's get back out to the table. Let's get ready to shuffle. Shuffle up and deal. All right, picking up the action here. Our blinds are at 100 and 200. We are just back from break. Our dealer is the Scorpion Queen on the top right of the board. Small blinds, Jurassic Jordan. Big blind is the Mother of Dragons. First to act will be the Scorpion King on the bottom right of the board. Looks like he's going to let this one go over to the Austrian assassin, who also lets it go. Now over to the left end of the table here, we have Corey J, a.k.a. Don Quixote. If I just would have given him the donkey bounty disc, he'd be called all the way from here on out. But since I did not, I am going to enjoy. I'm going to revel in calling Corey J Don Quixote for the rest of this tournament. All right, he lets this one go as well. Over to Amazing Spidey on the top left corner of the board. Looks down at a pair of deuces. He makes the call at 200. Mr. 300 folds over to the Scorpion Queen, who's got pocket jacks, a shorter stack. She pushes all in for 650 of her last chips. Our small blind folds, as does our big blind. Over to Amazing Spidey will be 450 to make the call. He does make the call, puts in another 450. Our pot settles in at 1,600 in chips. The Scorpion Queen is dominating this hand, but she is at risk. She's going to need to avoid a 2. Here comes the flop. 9, ace, queen, no 2 to be found. The turn is a 9 of hearts. The river is an 8 of diamonds. The Scorpion Queen avoids the deuce, takes this one down, doubles up, gets 1,600 in chips. A nice hand right on time for the Scorpion Queen to improve her chip count here. Very next hand in the tournament, our blinds are still at 100 and 200. The dealer is Jurassic Jordan on the top right corner of the board. Small blinds, the Mother of Dragons. Big blinds, the Scorpion King. First to act will be our chip leader, the Austrian Assassin, on the bottom left of the board.
Who would not? What is that? What are you for? Peanut butter chocolate whiskey. It's actually really good. It's like so good. It's what?
All right, the Austrian Assassin folds over to Don Quixote. He 2 folds back over to Amazing Spidey. He lets this one go over to Mr. 300. Looks down at offsuit. Jack, Queen, Jack of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts. Will be 200 to make the call. He does so over to the Scorpion Queen. She lets it go over to Jurassic Jordan, our dealer. He too lets it go. Now back to our small blind. The Mother of Dragons lets it go. Our big blind pushes all in. He's going to raise us up 500 more. 700 total. As he looks down at an ace 4 offsuit. And Mr. 300 makes the call. So even all in from the Scorpion King. Our pot is up to 1,500 in chips here. The flop comes out 4 of spades. King of diamonds, 9 of spades. The Scorpion King flops bottom pair of 4s. Mr. 300 is going to need to hit a Jack, Queen, or a 10, or he is going to let the Scorpion King double up. He's got tons of outs, however. Let's see if he gets that. Three of diamonds on the turn. No 10, no Jack or Queen to be found. Oh my gosh, tons of outs, but can he do it? Or will the Scorpion King double up?
Bang it in, corner pocket.
6 of diamonds. No higher card to be had here. The Scorpion King doubles up, takes in a pot of 1,500 on the bottom pair here, or second to bottom pair if you count that 3. All right, moving along. We're getting a lot of action in this blind level. The blinds are still at 100 and 200. Our dealer is the Mother of Dragons on the right end of the board. Small blinds, the Scorpion King. Big blinds, the Austrian Assassin. First to act will be Corey J, a.k.a. Don Quixote. He lets this one go. Amazing Spidey looks down at the Rockets. What a hand. How is he going to play this here? Is he simply going to make the call? No, he's reaching for chips. Looks like he's going to do an early raise. He does put in 450, so he raises up 450 over to Mr. 300. Mr. 300 makes the call. Scorpion Queen folds, as does Jurassic Jordan. Over to our dealer.
Oh yeah, that's easy. Chump change.
All right, everyone folds, but except for the Austrian Assassin. He too puts this one in. So we got a big pot here of 1,450 with 3 players.
Yeah, babe.
All right, I didn't say what the Austrian Assassin had. He had a suited Jack 6 of spades. The flop comes out 6 of clubs, 4 of spades, and 5 of diamonds. Rainbow all in a row. We got a little bit of gin here. 4, 5, 6. The Austrian Assassin does have a top pair of a 6. Of course, Amazing Spidey still has his aces. First to act will be the Austrian Assassin. Will he lead out here with top pair?
Well, I'm rubbing your hands.
Amazing Spidey is praying that the Austrian Assassin starts the betting.
Are we cleaning?
Oh, we got a jam.
Well, they ate at the...
He does. He throws out 450. Amazing Spidey wastes no time, spikes it going all in. Let's see. So he raises it 2,050 to go all in. Mr. 300 folds. It is now back over to the Austrian Assassin,
16 on top.
who is our chip leader. This is a battle between our top two chip stacks here. So the Austrian Assassin can afford it, but this is a big chunk of his chips. So Amazing Spidey right now is effectively all in. He bet all in. If there's a call, he will be all in. Reminder, our rebuy window is closed, but this is what Amazing Spidey wants. He makes the call, shows his top pair. So he calls 1,600, which was the overage on the original bet of 450. So we have a huge pot of 5,550 in chips, our biggest pot by far of the night. Doubled our previous big hand of 2,700. Oh my goodness, he makes the call, flips over the Rockets. He's gonna need runner spades or another 6 or a jack. Now both players have two pairs, 6 and 4s for the Austrian Assassin, ace and 4s for Amazing Spidey. The flush draw is dead. He is going, and the jack will no longer help as the board pair. So he's going to need a 6 and a 6 alone. Here comes the river. 10 of hearts. Amazing Spidey doubles up through the chip leader. $5,550 in chips is sliding its way over to Amazing Spidey. What a sling here. Wow, what a hand, what a pot. Perfect timing for the Rockets to get paid. Our blinds are still at 100 and 200. I think these are 4 consecutive hands here. Our dealer is now the Scorpion King on the bottom right of the board. Small blinds, the Austrian Assassin. Big blind is Don Quixote. First to act will be Amazing Spidey after that monster hand. Amazing Spidey lets this one go over to Mr. 300, who looks down at an ace-8 offsuit. He goes all in. He puts his last 550 to go all in. The Scorpion Queen folds. Then we have a call and an all-in again from Jurassic Jordan, who put in 600. So he is covering Mr. 300, but he's going to bet all in. A fold here from the Mother of Dragons over the Scorpion King, who also folds, as does our small blind, the Austrian Assassin. Our big blind, Corey J, a.k.a. Don Quixote, looks down at pocket 7s. He makes the call for 600, putting 400 more in, obviously. Let's see here. So we have 2 players all in. Mr. 300 with an ace-8 offsuit. Jurassic Jordan's all in with a king 10 suited of diamonds. And we have the call here from Don Quixote at pocket 7s. So our pot's up to 1,850. 1,750 will go in the main pot. 100 will go into the side pot. Unfortunately for Don Quixote, he's got to avoid 4 overcards here to take this pot down. At least the main pot. We get our main pot and side pot correct. 100 on the side. Flip over the cards. There will be no more betting. Corey J's got to avoid 4 overcards to take this pot, and the flop comes out 4, 6, 10. Jurassic Jordan gets top pair of 10s. He is in the lead. It'll take a 7 only to come back now for Corey J. We still have an ace out there to win for Mr. 300. Does not get the ace. The pair of 10s takes the entire pot of 1,850. A triple up for the Jurassic Jordan, and an elimination. Mr. 300 has rolled his gutter ball once again as he is eliminated from Jurassic Jordan. Oh my goodness. Tough go for Mr. 300, but he will be eliminated. We are now down to 7 players, and our blinds are still at 100, 200. Our dealer is a Scorpion Queen on the top right of the board. Small blind, Jurassic Jordan. Big blind is the Mother of Dragons. First to act will be the Scorpion King. He lets this one go. This is our last hand at this blind level. Over to the Austrian Assassin, who looks down at a suited ace-7 of diamonds. He makes the call. We have an all-in from Corey J, a.k.a. Don Quixote, looking down at pocket tens.
The Diddler do? Remind me of that.
He goes all in for his last 600 and chips over to Amazing Spidey, who has ace-8 suited of spades. He makes the call, puts in 600. Fold from the Scorpion Queen, a fold from our small blind Jurassic Jordan over the Mother of Dragons, who is the big blind.
Over at Douglas apartments over there?
She lets this one go over to the Austrian Assassin, who has ace-7 suited of diamonds. He makes the call. So all of the money is in the main pot here. So he has a chance to more than triple up, does Corey J. Don Quixote, with his pair of tens, and this time he only has 2 overcards, and they are splitting the difference as both players have an ace. The flop comes out 3 of clubs, Jack of clubs, King of clubs. The cards have not been flipped over yet, however, as there is still action between Amazing Spidey and the Austrian Assassin. This is an awful flop for Corey J. Don Quixote, as there are 2 overcards on the board. Of course, he does not know what his competitors have. Action is over to the Austrian Assassin. Betting into an empty side pot, he checks it. As does Amazing Spidey. Here comes the turn.
I don't want to hear anymore, you know? Wow. Just over it.
You gotta put one down, honey.
Queen of spades comes out on the board. All of our players have a straight draw now. An ace will not only give, an ace will give our pocket tens a straight, and a 10 will give our aces. We'll give our aces straight.
You gotta put a card down.
Action's over to the Austrian Assassin.
What a shit show, man.
So an ace now will not help our players who hold aces. They will need a 10 and a 10. And this is weird. Cards that will help you will actually hurt you. They check around to the river. The board pairs with a pair of queens. Our 4th club on the board. Once again, we have not flipped over our cards. Corey J with a pocket tens is not liking this, as there are 3 overcards on the board here. Oh my goodness.
What the fuck? You couldn't have put out a worse board in your life.
I check it again.
You guys have 6s and 7s?
They just check around, show that the ace high is not good enough, as he avoids a club, avoids a jack, king, or queen,
What the hell just happened?
and the pocket 10 survives. Well, how does he survive this board? But he does.
Seriously, you just
Corey J all the way, the boy who lived, survives this one and more than triples up. All right, like I said before, you heard the horn. Now the blinds have finally increased to 150, 300 for the big blind. Our dealer is Jurassic Jordan. Small blind is the Mother of Dragons. Big blind is the Scorpion King. First to act will be the Austrian Assassin.
Smell like shrimp.
No. Not even close to it.
They made shrimp scampi.
Oh,
And I was like, I'm not coming around. No, they just.
Austrian Assassin lets this one go over to Don Quixote. He lets it go over to Amazing Spidey. He too lets it go back up to the Scorpion Queen on the top right of the board. It'll be 300 to make the call.
Cold pot, anything like that?
Is that your rare
It's on
Karen?
the wire, X-chromosome, everyone.
She lets it go, and the dealer, the Jurassic Jordan, looks down at pocket aces. He only makes the call.
She likes calling.
All right, I'm going to pause it here real quick. More of a strategy thing. So earlier, this is our second time we've seen pocket aces. Again, there's a lot of variables here, but I'm just kind of putting this out here as we go. Last time Amazing Spidey had pocket aces, and he raised pre-flop. This time we have Jurassic Jordan with pocket aces. He only calls pre-flop. Let's see which strategy works out. We also know Amazing Spidey took a monster pot last time. Again, there's plenty of variables, so I'm not saying it's a 1-to-1. If you do this, you'll get that. But let's just see how this one plays out. We have a call from Jurassic Jordan. Mother Dragon looks down at suited King, Queen of Spades. She too makes the call. Now it's over to the Scorpion King.
I know.
And it looks like he makes the call as well. So we have 3 players going to the flop, 900 in the pot. The flop comes out 3, 5, queen. There's a queen on the board. Mother of Dragons gets a top pair of the board of pairs of queens, but she is behind to the pair of aces. First to act will be the Mother of Dragons.
Thinking about shrimp makes me like this right now. I don't know.
She leads out 300, a fold from the Scorpion King. Again, what will Jurassic Jordan do here with the top pair of aces? Does he call or raise? He makes the call. The pot is up to 1,500. The turn comes out. Oh, another queen on the board. Oh, my goodness. This is devastating for Jurassic Jordan. All right, so we have a pair of aces, or two pair, aces and queens versus a set of queens. Oh, my goodness. First to act will be the Mother of Dragons.
Crap. Oh, that was so funny.
I use the two because so they don't flip when they corner. Oh God, that's so. You know, like the skewers with the two.
I don't like seafood. I like fish that doesn't taste like fish and calamari.
And she leads out. She's going all in for her last 1,400 and chips. This pot is up to 2,900. Again, I just want to pause it here real quick. So Jurassic Jordan, who's ahead the entire time, now the board pairs. Now he's got things to worry about. There's 2 diamonds on the board, 2 queens on the board. He's got 1,000 left in his stack, so to make the call, he will go all in. This is almost impossible to lay down, but he puts himself in a little bit of a pickle by waiting this long to put his chips in. Again, it's hard to say what will happen here. If 2 queens don't come out, you're riding high this entire time. And the good thing is he is the dealer, so he gets the most amount of information before making these decisions. Can he let this one go with 2 queens on the board? Holding aces.
Ice cold water, lots of salt in there. Put the fish in there.
It's like a wet line.
So they're counting. It's 1,400.
Smell it.
Are you calling?
Do it. I hate.
Yeah.
He does call, puts his last 1,000 in after pulling back the overage of 400 from the Mother of Dragons. The pot settles in at 3,500. This is our second biggest pot of the night. So once again, I'm just kind of talking this one out as a little bit of a, I'm not an expert, so I don't want to say a tutorial here, but just an observation and to go through these hands as we've had 2 pair of aces. So both times our players of pair of aces do have big pots. This is our second biggest pot of the night. However, he is behind when the pot grows to 3,500. Shows over the aces. He's going to see the queen. This is going to be devastating for Jurassic Jordan. He's going to need an ace and an ace alone. Does not get it. The pair of aces are cracked. The Mother of Dragons, the breaker of chains, the cracker of aces with a set of queen from the Andals takes this one down, and we have another fatality as Jurassic Jordan has now been eliminated. We are down to 6 players. Our blinds have increased to 200, 400. Our dealer is the Austrian Assassin on the bottom left of the board. Small blinds, Don Quixote. Big blinds, Amazing Spidey. First to act will be the Scorpion Queen.
It's sort of, well, you
I
can
don't know anything. Look at the TV.
Also, like I didn't see you get on a card video.
It'll be 400 to make the call.
Action to you, baby.
She lets this one go over to the Mother of Dragons, who survived all that early losses, now is in great shape in terms of, I think she makes the call. The chips just aren't in the pot yet. We have a raise of an all-in from the Scorpion King, who looks down at ace-10 offsuit. He is the short stack. He puts in his last 550 in chips in, so he will be all in over the Austrian Assassin, who looks down at a suited ace-6. The kicker's not as good, but being that they're suited is better here. So the ace-6, he makes the call. This pot is growing quickly to 2,100 over to Corey J, a.k.a. Don Quixote. He already has 200 in, so it'll be 350 to make the call. He does not. Over to Amazing Spidey, who is our big blind. This is a big deal why he makes this call here. With a 4-5 offsuit, not a great hand, but he's already in for 400. Will only be 150 to make the call, so he's betting at 150 into a pot of 2,100.
Yeah, you call the 400, yeah.
thinks about it because his hand is so bad, but the price is just too good. He does make the call, as does the Mother of Dragons. So the pot is up to 2,400.
Yeah, nobody flip.
All right, so we've got 4 players in. The Scorpion King is all in and at risk. Here comes the flop. Queen, 5, deuce. We have 2 diamonds on the board. Amazing Spidey hits a middle pair with a pair of 5s. His crappy hand does get a piece of this board. And he is first to act.
Do it, girl.
It looks like he's counting chips. Going to put out a bet here. Is it bigger than the minimum? It is. He puts 650 in. Listen, so we just talked about how Jurassic Jordan played there, not in a disparaging way, just in an observation way. So I'm going to notice an observation. I'm going to give you a tell I just noticed about myself, Amazing Spidey. He bet all of his lowest denomination chips. He didn't even care what the number was. He was just putting all of his blue chips, which are worth 50 in our game. So that is a tell. If he puts his low denomination chips, he does not think he has the best hand. He's willing to part with his ugly chips.
Oh, this is weird.
I'm giving that information out to you guys.
Is it a butter knife at least?
650.
No, that's
It's
like
on
Yeah.
Just be careful.
So a bet of 650 over to the Mother of Dragons.
Your finger, dude. Whatever, bro.
She lets this one go. Scorpion King is already all in. Now we have a raise of an all in from the Austrian Assassin, who does have a nut flush draw. He's got 4 diamonds. He puts in, what does he put in there? I think he puts in 1,550. His last 1,550. So it'll be 900 to make the call from Amazing Spidey. He's got to figure out, does he put him on a set of 2s, a pair of queens, or the flush draw? This is not an automatic call from Amazing Spidey, but by putting these bets in little increments here at a time, each call is just small decisions. He does have him covered in chips, so he will not be putting himself all in. This is Amazing Spidey I'm speaking of. So he does make the call. This pot balloons up to 5,500 in chips. We have 2 players all in, 2 players at risk. The Scorpion King, let's see, our main pot is 2,400 in chips. Our side pot is up to 3,100 in chips. Oh my goodness.
No, I said I think I know.
You got his a nut draw or something. Nut draw?
Amazing Spidey shows his middle pair, not great. The nut flush draw from the Austrian Assassin. He has a great chance to catch us, but he is behind. So what do these players need? An ace or 10 will give this to the Scorpion King. A diamond will give this to the Austrian Assassin. Amazing Spidey, if he can avoid ace, 10, or diamond, will take this one down. Let's see how this one plays out.
No 10.
One more diamond.
The turn is a 3 of spades, no diamond, no 10, no ace. He has to avoid those cards, does Amazing Spidey, to get a double knockout. And like we said, Scorpion King needs an ace or a 10. Austrian Assassin needs a diamond.
Boom.
Right? No, not yet.
1, 2, 3.
You need your
I need a
4.
4.
All right, is this card going to be red?
I reckon you need a 4. 10.
It is, but it's not a diamond. Amazing Spidey even improves his hand to a set of 5s, curses out an exclamation at the table. The Mother Dragon showed she would have turned the straight. Oh my goodness, Amazing Spidey gets a double KO, taking in the second biggest pot of the night of 5,500. Oh my goodness, what a size pot. Big blind special. If Scorpion King has any more money on his first all-in, Amazing Spidey ducks this one. But being that he could afford the 150, he makes the call, stays in, gets a piece of the flop, and gets a huge pot at the end and a double KO. All right, we are now down to 4 players left on the table. Blinds are still at 200 and 400. Amazing Spidey is our dealer on the top left. Small blind is the Scorpion Queen. Big blind is the Mother of Dragons. First to act is the Corey J, a.k.a. Don Quixote. Let me pause this real quick just because it's So Corey moved from the left end of the table down to the middle. So I've moved his bounty chip over to the bottom right of the table just so you can follow along where our players are sitting. We moved around with the space on the table. Don Quixote folds over to Amazing Spidey, who also folds back over to her small blind. The Scorpion Queen looks down at a 10 deuce offsuit. She is the small blind.
Oh, wait, I didn't see that. No, I was there. Yeah.
So she's already in for 200.
Yeah.
She is low in a chip stack here. So do you take your stab here?
I'm all in.
Oh, yeah, go down. Apparently not.
She's trying to buy this pot, I think. But she has less than the minimum raise. She only has 400 on top of that, so her total bet is 600. She's all in.
5.
Ocho. ESPN 8.
Mother of Dragons makes the call with pocket threes. Pots up to 1,200. The Scorpion Queen is at risk, but a chance to double up. She does have one overcard. This is going to be tough. She's going to need a 10 or a bunch of clubs.
Over, people.
Okay.
All right, the flop comes out. Queen 9-7. There is one club, and that's not enough. She needed 4 clubs to have a chance here, so she's going to need a 10 and a 10 alone to stay in this tournament.
Yeah. That's what happened.
The turn is a 5 of spades. She's still going to need that 10. Can pocket threes hold on? We shall see. One more card to come. The river is a king of clubs. The pair of threes hold on. The Mother of Dragons sends the Scorpion Queen scuttling off beyond the wall out to the wildlings. She has been eliminated. The Mother of Dragons
Good hand.
had to survive that first round tonight, but since coming back from break has been very strong. We are now down to 3 players, and we are on break. So here are our final 3 players. In seat 1 here, we have Don Quixote with 1,850 in chips. In seat 2, if you will, Amazing Spidey is at 8,000 in chips, but Diane W., the Mother of Dragons, has been doing very well. 5,500 in chips, not that far behind considering where she came from. Well done for her. So we are coming back from our second break here. And let's pick up the action with our final 3 players. Friendly reminder here that there are only 2 payouts, so we are on the bubble. Our blinds are at 250 and 500. Our dealer is Amazing Spidey on the top left of the corner. Small blinds, the Mother of Dragons, who slid up a little bit to the top right. Big blind is Don Quixote on the bottom of the board. First act will be Amazing Spidey looks down at Queen 9 offsuit. We have 500 to make the call. We see that he is the chip leader. Willing to play a little bit here. Does make the call over to the Mother of Dragons, who has a Queen 4 offsuit. She makes the call. And Don Quixote is already in. There's been no raises, so the pot is up to 1,500 in chips. The flop comes out 3, 6, 9. 2 of our players get a piece of this board. Amazing Spidey has top pair of 9s. Don Quixote has middle pair of 6s. And we have a backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw for the Mother of Dragons. First to act will be the Mother of Dragons. She checks it, as does Don Quixote. Over to Amazing Spidey, who has top pair and the big chip stack. How much does he put in? 1,250 in chips, just over the smallest raise, I mean. That bet is just too big for the Mother of Dragons. She lays this one down over to Don Quixote, who does have a piece of this board, as we just saw, is the short stack. He goes all in. He puts his last chips in the pot there. He goes all in, puts his last 1,350 in. This is all of his 1,850 that we had coming out of break. Amazing Spidey makes the snap call. This pot is up to 4,000. Don Quixote is all in. His tournament life is at risk. Does have a piece of the board. Gonna need a 5 or a 6. The Queen comes out. Oh, thank goodness. Again, this is just an observation. With Amazing Spidey betting with top pair, he gets Mother Dragons to fold, who catches her, what would be her top pair, on the turn. Again, just an observation. I'm not saying any play is better than another. But in this tournament anyway, when you have the cards, you put the money in, you get some other hands out of there that can beat you.
Oh, 5?
No 5, no 6 comes out on the board. Amazing Spidey catches Don Quixote in his web, eliminating Corey J, who finishes in a strong 3rd place. Goes from rebuy to just off the bubble here. We are now down to 2. Congratulations to Amazing Spidey and the Mother of Dragons. You are both in the money. Way to go. Our blinds are still at 250 and 500. We do have a guest dealer here, as we have a dealer on the bottom of the table dealing for us. So we're a little backwards on our bets. We just got a little confused with the dealer chips been bouncing around here. Let me pause it real quick. So we have the dealer in this case is the Mother of Dragons and the small blind, and will be first to act pre-flop here. She looks down at Queen 10 offsuit, but she already has her, I think she put in the big blind in this case, but we'll get there. So Amazing Spidey's, we're going out of turn here to see where the bets are. So it's over to Amazing Spidey. He has the small blind, and he should be the big blind. In all fairness, I think the Mother of Dragons would, of course, make this call with a King 10 anyway. So I don't think the play would change, even though our bets were out of order here. So we do go to the flop here with 1,000 in the middle. Amazing Spidey has Jack 9 offsuit. Scorpion Queen's got King 10 offsuit. Way ahead here. They're a similar range. All right, here comes the flop. Flop comes out here. What do we got? We've got 4 of diamonds, 7 of spades, 2 of hearts. First to act will be Amazing Spidey. Neither of our player hits this board. We've got a rainbow out there. No flushes to worry about. Only a low straight to even consider. With the bad board, Amazing Spidey is going to lead out with a bet of 1,000, trying to buy this one, trying to bluff this one off, as he has no piece of this board. Will the bluff work? I don't think the bet's quite big enough. It is not. The Mother of Dragons makes the call with her king high, so our pot is up to 3,000. Amazing Spidey is way behind. A jack on the turn. Oh my goodness. Amazing Spidey lucks out, tries to bluff out on this pot, gets a piece of it, now has top pair. Will he lead out again, or will he check this one over? It looks like he's counting out all his chips. He does. He goes all in. He puts in 3,500 more. He is all in. Or 5,600 more. I apologize. He puts in his last 5,600 more. He's thinking he can buy this pot. He still thinks he's the chip leader and thinks he can just take this with top pair.
I don't think so.
The Mother of Dragons makes the call, starts to count out her chips. Amazing Spidey talks across the table, says, I think you have more chips than me, in a surprising fashion, thinking he was dominating the heads-up matchup here in terms of chip stack. Amazing Spidey can't believe it. He counts his chips 4 times over. Yep, 5,600, no matter how many times you count it, is 5,600 in chips. And the Mother of Dragons is approaching 6,000. She is over 6,000 in chips. She makes the call. Amazing Spidey is in disbelief that he was not the chip leader. He's been the chip leader for the past hour. As we count out here, the Mother of Dragons has 6,750 in chips. She had him covered by over 1,100 in chips. She does make the call. This pot is in at 14,200 in chips.
500. That's 6,000. 6,000.
We'll leave it all in for now until we get to the resolution of the hand. Oh my gosh, Amazing Spidey is at risk if the Mother of Dragons can spike a 10 or not a 10, a king. She will win this tournament, but she is behind. Can she get that king?
I'm totally just looking for a high card. Give me a king.
She does not. Amazing Spidey. Oh my goodness. I mean, he put the money in when he was good, but he didn't realize that he was behind in chips and at risk for his tournament life. Takes a monster pot of 14,200 in chips. A reminder, we only have 15,350 in total chips. He's got a stranglehold on this one now. Going into our next hand. All right, we have our dealer is Amazing Spidey and the small blind. The blinds have increased to 500 and 1,000 in chips. Amazing Spidey looks down at a Jack Queen offsuit, while the Mother of Dragons has a Jack 5 offsuit. So this is a dominating hand for Amazing Spidey as his jacks are canceled out. So it's Queen versus 5. They're both clubs, so he dominates the flush draw as well. Starting percentages here, Amazing Spidey with a 73% chance to take this one pre-flop, pre-bet. Again, Amazing Spidey is first to act as he's the small blind and dealer. He's going to raise this one to 4,000 total. So right now our pot is up to 5,000. The Mother of Dragons has about that much. She's right about that 4,000 mark. So we're not sure if this is going to put her all in yet. They have to count this out. She is making the call, however. They're going to count this out. They see that she has 3,800. We pulled back the overture. Our pot settles in at 7,600. This is a big pot here. This is almost half of the stack here. If the Mother of Dragons can win this, they will be almost even in chips, although she is behind at a 22.8% chance to take this pre-flop.
Too short.
With her being all in, they're able to pull back the overage, flip over the cards. Queen versus Jack. She's going to need a 5.
You got my queen.
Or all spades. The flop comes out 6, Queen, 9, all spades. She is alive. She is alive. A 5 will take this, or a spade will take this. She went from 22% chance to win up to a 37.4 chance. She is still well behind, but this is as good as a flop as you will find other than a 5-5-5 flop here. Oh my goodness. All right, we have a chance here for the Mother of Dragons to double up and almost even the chips on the table here. 60.8% chance for Amazing Spidey, 37.4% chance for the Mother of Dragons. A 5 or a spades is all she will need.
Spades. Spades are here. Spades are here.
Here comes the turn. It is a Queen of Hearts. Amazing Spidey now has a pair. Didn't really need it. He just needs to avoid the spades or the 5, but now the 5 will not even do it. But the spades are still alive. Our percentages drop for Mother Dragons, but still pretty good at 20.5% chance, while Amazing Spidey's at 79.6% chance here. Will the river come out as a spade and prolong this tournament and keep the Mother of Dragons at an equal chip stack and alive in this tournament? Let's see what the river is. Is it a spade? It is not. The 9 of Hearts. Amazing Spidey takes this one down. He eliminates the Mother of Dragons to win this tournament. Tournament number 2 goes to Amazing Spidey. Great day by the Mother of Dragons, who started out tough, but came all the way back. Even had a chip lead in this one with 2 to play. All right, let's look at our winner animation. Congratulations to Amazing Spidey, who takes this one down. to be the winner of tournament number 2 of the 2025 Wingman Poker League season. Great day from the Mother of Dragons, but Amazing Spidey takes this one down. Well done to all of our players, and well done to you, as I want to thank all of you who made it to the end of another episode of Wingman Poker Presents On the Rail. And a huge congratulations to me, Amazing Spidey, who uses those Spidey cents to earn some Spidey dollars. And for the second straight tourney, Amazing Spidey finishes in the money. Also, I want to give a big shout out to the Mother of Dragons, who battled back from a slow start, and she too earns herself a payout as she takes home the second spot of this last tournament. And to Corey J, aka All the Way, aka Donkey Hote, who finished just outside of the bubble but earns a strong third place finish. For those of you following along, the standings have been updated through 2 tournaments of our 2025 Poker League season. In first place right now, we have Michael F, aka Amazing Spidey. In second place is the Scorpion King, Chris M. In third place is Alicia M, the Scorpion Queen. Followed by, in fourth place, the Mother of Dragons, Diane W. Fifth place is Corey J, aka All the Way. And in sixth place is the Austrian assassin, Gerhard W. Friendly reminder that the top 6 finishers in our final standings after our 7 regular season tournaments will earn themselves a free seat into the Wingman Poker League Championship Invitational in early October. All right, guys, do me the favor. Head over to our YouTube channel at wingmanpoker.com/YouTube. When you head over there, do me the favor, hit that like button, subscribe, smash the notification bell, and leave a comment. By hitting that notification bell, you will know when we post some new content. And like I mentioned before, we're going to try some new things. I'm going to start recording from a new perspective, get the whole cam so you can see my cards and what I might raise with and what others may fold and what cards that I might fold when a big raise is put to me. This just hurts my play, guys, but I'm just trying to give you guys some extra angles and views to see Wingman Poker. Also, join us as the new chip set is coming in a week or so, and there will be an unboxing/review of the new chips, and we'll go over some of that as well. All right, guys, with that being said, may your cards be live, your pocket aces hold, and we will see you next time.
Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in.